It's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's West London VR. We're every Wednesday at the moment, and that's sadly because RGT is shutting down. So we crammed them in 4 races for this series, very, very short. But we think it's just going to be even more exciting, really, isn't it? You can't miss a race, and there's only 4 weeks to cover, so get in there. Exciting times. I mean, we've moved over to IndieVelo. We won a Monday Malarkey over there. And I think a lot of RGT riders have gone over there, plus some Zwifters. So that looks like a promising platform to be part of. We're looking forward to a long association with IndieVelo after RGT ends. Nevertheless, it's sad. We've been here for 3.5, nearly 4 years now, promoting these races on RGT. We will miss them. We'll miss the steering as well. But times move on, and we have to move on with them. Nevertheless, we're going to party till it drops. Now, we do get the impression that I think a lot of people are making the transition over to other platforms, especially IndieVelo. So it's not, there's one or two things. I think there's some people getting the last little bit out of RGT and other people who just decided to move on. So attendances will be interesting over the last 3 or 4 weeks. But let's have a look where we are. Lorenzo Simons, who emailed me during the week, the Moon Riders, beat Wouter Clays. And he emailed me during the week to say he was so delighted to get his first win in one of our series. Marino Sesson just beaten by the 2 Moon Riders to 3rd place. Nick Greenhalgh, former champion, in 4th place. James Melville, another of our stalwarts with a few medals in the box. Mark Roman. These are all names, you know, Anthony Dubray, Jorgen van Beurs. So, you know, the big names are in there. Not every single one of them. And we think they will duke it out for this last championship. So, let's have a look at the course we've got tonight. We brought back one of our favourites. I don't think we needed a Queen's Stage earlier in this series or anything like that. So I think we just make this fast blast racing. Starting in Windsor, we go out over the bridge into Eton, then out to Bray. This has a couple of Strava KOMs by virtue of another platform that has KOMs. And what happens is every time we race it, the top 20 in the Strava rankings is basically people in the race. So if you look at all the dates of all the top people in the KOMs after you've done this, you'll see that they pretty much coincide with when we've run it. Looking at the map there, you can see it loops around. It's basically following the River Thames, which is where that dotted line is. The big black line in the middle is actually the rowing park. It's owned by Eton College. It was used in the 2012 Olympics for all the rowing events. That's what that big black line in the middle of the course is, if you're wondering. So 8.2, 9 seconds to go. Let's go over to the start line and see what's happening. 45 riders online. That's slightly surpassing my expectations, actually. I was wondering whether people would be experimenting with other platforms, but they've all turned up dutifully. It's a stellar lineup. We're delighted. We'll see who's in there. See a few purple Westerly jerseys. That's great. Harry Smith's in there. Christine Meek, Rob Kilmore, obviously Gavin Grant from Twickenham CC, Andy Evans from West London. So some regular names. Craig Jones in there. He had a most fantastic kit in IndieVelo on Monday, in our Monday Malarkey race on IndieVelo. They're 7:30 every Monday. You can configure your kits brilliantly in IndieVelo. Craig Jones, he made spectacularly use of the Welsh colours, and I was really, really impressed. James Melville in this front group. We've got Daniel in there, the Brazilian flag there you see. Daniel Margues. He's been on and off. He's been with us since we started these nearly 4 years ago. Great to have you back, Daniel, the Portuguese bike hire guy. Absolutely phenomenal to see you back here. Nick Lee in there, Aileen Davison in this front group as they spread out a little bit. 29 by the looks of it in this front group. A bit of Marion Marasek and Mark Robot and Roy the Rocket O'Neill and John Samet putting a bit of pressure on the front. You can see a little bit of a gap back to Steve Bellio. Joseph Healy in there at 17th. So this clutch, I think, is going to be the main bunch. It is a flat course. It just goes along a river valley. Lorenzo Simons in there, 6th place. He was chuffed to bits, as I was saying earlier, to get that win as we watch Mario Marasek from Racio Racing. Interesting to see somebody going out to the left there. And I presume they're using the steering. They're coming over to the steering. They're coming over to the centre now, just getting on the back. It's Nick Greenhalgh, actually, just getting on the back of Roy the Rocket Neal. Marian Marasek in 4th place, Mark Rowbottom 3rd. It's John Samet out the front for Pokemotion. It's tearing away by the looks of things. He's got 34 metres on everybody else. And look at that. John absolutely going for it. John would have done this course before, I'm sure, more than once. Probably knows what he's doing. There's still nearly 14 kilometres to go. So I'm not sure they'd expect to stay out this long. But as we say in every race, the modern day tactics is to stretch it at the front, because people will drop off the front group and you split it. Now let's have a look down the side. You can already see that from 7th to 8th place, Francois Ike is 33 metres behind John, but he's already drifted off people in front. Marino Sesson is also in a little clutch of riders. Tim Cummins, Gautam Thakkar, and a few others. Jorgen van Beurs dropped off. So this has caused a very, very early split. Jorgen van Beurs in that second group. You can see Jorgen in 20th now. We're looking at the second group. Kader Alumi in there. Tim Cummings in the purple jersey, riding for Westerly, of course. And Gautam Thakkar in there. I see the red bike. Go on, Gautam. Now, I want Gautam to tire himself out, because Gautam and I are going to Mallorca for the weekend, cycling up mountains. And the tireder he is, the less I'll have to keep up with. Well, the less effort it'll be keeping up with him. So you go and burn yourself out, Gautam. And I'll see you at the airport tomorrow. Marino Sesson in 10th then. There's a bit of a gap. I mean, Tim Cummins is only just ahead of these guys now. And be interesting to see whether Tim just settles to drop back into that group or continues to chase. Anthony Dubray in this front group now, as we look. Mark Rowbottom, John Samet. This little clutch look like they're going to contest the race. I don't see any attack points. If the group stays together, I think the gap they're going to eke out, it's 79 metres back to Tim now. Tim looks like he's getting caught by Francois Ike and Jorgen van Beurs, Wozniak, Marino Sesson, all in that group. So I think this front group of 7 now, just 3 kilometres into the race, have probably the top 3 are going to come out of this group. So let's have a look. Anthony Dubray, the Frenchman, and he's been in a few recent races and very much, he's had some impressive rides. So we're delighted to see Anthony back in the fold. Marian Marasek, of course, the Slovenian, riding for Ratio Racing. He's been getting some great results of late. Mark Rowbottom on the front at the moment, another Ratio rider, and Lorenzo Simons, Moon Riders, is they're shuffling around a little bit. Nick Greenhouse up to second at the moment. So Moon Riders with 2 riders in there. Roy Rocket Neil. No Wouter Clays today. Wouter did say to me that Mondays. Actually that was about the IndieVelo. He did say that Mondays weren't the easiest, and he sounded as if he was a bit busy at the moment. So I'm guessing Wouter's had to sit this one out just out of inconvenience, but he wasn't around on Monday either. Lorenzo Simons then. Sorry, I'll tell a lie. Wouter was around on Monday, I think. So Lorenzo Simons now at the front in second place. He's alongside Anthony Dubray. Belgium and Holland alongside each other. John Samet for the UK. Nick Greenhouse, Mark Rowbottom of UK riders, as is Roy Rocket Nield. Marian Marasek, the 7th rider at the moment, Slovenian. Haven't Slovenia done well in cycling in modern times? I mean, I know they've got some inspirational guys at the very, very top, but it doesn't happen overnight like that. That's probably been a few generations in the mix. James Melville not in that front group. That's very unusual for James, and he'll be disappointed with that. As we have a look at this 7. I think the winner's going to come out of this 7. Somebody's off the back there. It looks like Marian. I think he's just squeezing up to get back on. So nobody making any big breaks out of that group. So we're going to have at least 2 sprints, I think, because this secondary group here now from what we're sort of looking at, they're back to 22nd with Daniel Marquez, Andre Kajewski in there, Kader Alumi, Craig Jones. Not as good a kit this time, Craig. We all know why, but I'm going to tease you about it anyway. Tobias Bjork in there for West London. I can't see Gautam Thakkar, so maybe he hasn't stayed in this group. But Tobias, Swedish rider. No, Gautam is in there here. Tobias and Gautam together. So at 23rd, we have Andy Smith. Mike Feely at 24th, the Irishman. Ainsley Smith ahead of him. Daniel Cadiz is with Matt. They are 100 odd meters in front of Nick Lee. So Nick Lee dropping right back. Here's Nick now with Kalkan, the Turk. Nick doing all the work by the looks of things. Nick from Ealing. Get in there, Nick. He's putting away a little bit, so it's paying off, isn't it? So, yeah, well done, Nick. Paul Pudel, the German, riding for OTR in that recognisable white, black and green kit. We go back in. Eileen Davidson sitting on Bench's wheel there. I think she's his first lady, looking for 100 points in the ladies' league for this one. So she's doing very, very well, isn't she? She's got 100 metres on Collins and even more on Lightfoot. So I think she's probably in a good position to get a good haul of points, 100 points in the ladies. Collins there, Lightfoot, going back to the Ukrainian. Harry Smits behind him, and Harry riding for Team Lou. We all know that Harry's one of my little favourites, as is Andy Evans, of course, because Andy Evans riding for my team. So you go and catch Harry, please. Andy, you get in there. Maria Vetsky from Puerto Rico. Don't forget, next Wednesday's race is a Puerto Rican course. We're delighted to be teaming up with the Festival of Cycling that OTR are organising as a farewell tribute to RGTs. You've got the Festival of Cycling with OTR, you've got us involved, and Puerto Rico. So it's going to be a really special one next Wednesday. Make sure you're on it. Migu Kanda. Now, there's usually a little bit of a duel between Migu and Maria at the end of all these. And I think Migu's just about to catch up with Maria, which means that we are in line probably for one of those little tussles at the end. Coming back behind, we've got Rick van der Laan, and he's from the Netherlands, as you can tell. He's 120 metres ahead of Gavin Grant. Gavin, as I was saying, if you've watched any of the races recently where Gavin's been in here, Gavin lives in the south of France, and he's actually converting a building into a cycling holiday centre down near the foothills of the Pyrenees. And I think I might be going there next spring. Well, certainly when I can next summer. Christine Meek from Malmesbury, formerly of West London, riding for Westerly CC in that purple. As you can see, she's ahead of Jessica Wright. Jessica from Bolton, of course. And Jessica's not been in every race, but she's 160 metres ahead of Jay Hodgson. I don't know Jay's first name, but Hodgson now is at 43rd, and it's Cameron Potts behind. So 43 riders. It's Julie Hodgson. So lovely to have you along, Julie. You'll be grabbing some points for the Ladies' League as well in this, I think. So you've got Christine and Maria and Jessica and Eileen in front of you. So get in there. So going back to the front, and it's been a bit of a split, isn't there? 4 and 3 now. 4 have dropped 3. So this whittles it down. The podium now looking like it's going to be Mark Rowbottom, Nick Greenhouse, Anthony Dubray and Lorenzo Simons. Lorenzo, he's on a rich vein of form just going into the winter indoor cycling season. He must be very pleased with himself. He's energetically and enthusiastically racing off the front now as we get towards the halfway stage. Only about 300 metres and we'll go through the halfway stage. There will be a banner over the course. Remember, this is almost totally flat. You can see along the bottom that it is. There's the banner, the purple banner going over the road. Tells us we're halfway. John Samet now in 5th, just drawing up to that front 4 to make it a 5. Roy Rocket Neild and James Melville falling out. Roy the Rocket Neild giving us a little wave. I guess you're listening, Roy. Lovely to have you along. Delighted that you could take part tonight. Always a pleasure. Roy pulled away from Marian Marasek there in 8th. But here's the next batch. Tim Cummings in there, who's having some very good rides in the last year or so. Francois Ike, the Wallonian Belgian. Steve Bellio for OTR, the US rider. Jorgen van Beurs, Marino Sesson, Andre Kajewski. These Tobias York, Craig Jones and Gotthard Thacker. These are all riders who would like to have been in that front group at the halfway stage at very least. But it's thinned out very, very early in this particular race. So they're going to have to, I think, work as a bunch here and have their own little tussle at the end. But Marino Sesson going for it in the second half of the race. Is Marino able to pull away? He's created a little bit of a gap. It's Tim Cummins putting his pedal to the metal, and Reno moving over to get a little bit of draft hold because it's a curved bend to the right. Francois EK maybe not using the steering there, stuck on the outside of the curve. I don't think it's sharp enough bend. No, Francois maybe moving over a little bit now, realising what's happening. Needs to get over there because it's the inside of the bend. You do save a little bit of time if you can get on the inside of the bend when you're steering. Yeah, look, Francois now doing that and getting the benefit of the draft as well as he gets on the back of the rider in front. Pulling out a little bit. I don't know why he's gone to the side. Wozniak is 14th, just off that group. It's hard work to get back on. Looking back, here's Craig Jones again, just on the back. Gautam Thacker just behind Andrei Krajewski, the Pole who lives in Manchester. I think Gautam will be very, very pleased with 17. Work a bit harder, Gautam, mate. I need you tired on Friday when we're going up that mountain. Even Van Beurs just behind Gautam, that 6 metre gap. Tobias Bjork, Joe Healy and Daniel Margulies at 21st. Look, they're bunching together now. Racio rider coming up. So this group at the front now is select. It's down to just 5 riders, as we said before. And I think it seemed to whittle down in all the races with 6 kilometres to go. A little bit of a gap there. I don't think Nick Greenhalgh is going to fall out of that group. There's nobody in that group who I think is likely to fall out. I think we're going to see this 5 with 500 metres to go. I think this 5 will be together. So we're looking at the top 3. We just don't know which of the 5 it is at the moment. So, reminder of the course, it starts in Windsor, goes past Windsor Castle, which is Royal Castle. You can see it just goes past it there. Over the bridge through Eton College, the school. It then goes through to Bray, and as I said, through Dorney Common, past the Olympic Rowing Lake, and it then goes to Bray, which is a tiny little village, but nevertheless has 3 Michelin-starred restaurants in it. So it curls back on itself. It's the river going down the middle of the course. That's why it is so flat. It's bottom of the Thames River Valley. So, 5.47 kilometres to go. The front group only doing 37, which is slightly slower than they often do. It's a small group, so there's not a case of sort of big groups sitting in the slipstream. Oh, it's gone up to 46 now. The gradient is minus 0.2, so it's slightly negligible. I wouldn't have thought that had a big effect on it, but suddenly it's 46.9 after me making a comment about the speed. They're obviously listening to what I'm saying and reacting, aren't they? So if I say they're going too fast, do you think they'll all slow down? Who knows? The thing is, after saying that I didn't think anybody would drop off this group, John Sammet has drifted off the back as that speed increased. So that little bit of acceleration has dropped John Sammet. But remember, this was 4 before, and John did catch up. But he's 40 metres down now with under 5 kilometres to go. It's gone out to 50, well, nearly. It's going to head to 50. I think John's done. He's got 50 metres on James Melville in the next group, but I think James Melville's group will almost certainly catch John now. He's not going to make up 55 metres on these 4. So, my last prediction that these 5 would all stick together. I would have predicted John sticking in the group. He's obviously been racing too much this week and just didn't have that little spurt when it mattered. So we're down at 4. I'll say it again at the risk of getting it wrong. There's not a rider in this group that couldn't win this race. So let's be absolutely clear. As I say, I don't think I can predict the winner here. I mean, Lorenzo Simons has been in great form. If I was picking on the form book from what I've seen, I'd probably go for Lorenzo. But I picked him the other day and he came 3rd. Anthony Dubray probably due a win. Mark Rowbottom's getting up close to the podium in recent races, so I wouldn't write him off. And never, ever write Nick Greenhalgh off. He's won the series. I think I'm going to pick Nick Greenhalgh as my favourite to win. If you've got a favourite, keep it secret. I don't think we've got the chats going today, so you might not be able to put it on screen. But it is nice when people put their picks up. John Sammet now back in the James Melville group. In fact, James Melville and Roy Neild have gone by, rocketed by, I should say. It's Roy, shouldn't I, really? And It's Roy the Rocket Neild, of course, the Moon Riders rider. James Melville from Glasgow United hasn't got his teammates Alistair McAlpine and Stevie Cooper with him. Glasgow United have been one of the teams that have been with us almost since the beginning, always put up good showing, and particularly James. He is one of the stalwarts of this. He's a little bit ahead of John and Roy, but I don't think that's going to last. I think they're going to get together. But look at the gap they've got on the riders behind. So the four at the front are still the four at the front. Anthony Dubray, Lorenzo Simons, Nick Greenhalgh. Anthony Dubray going off the front at the moment. The Frenchman, it would be fantastic to have a Frenchman win this, wouldn't it? It would certainly internationalise it. I don't think we've had too many French winners. I would be delighted to get one if you can do it for us, Anthony. I think my pick is still Nick Greenhalgh. He's fourth at the moment. He's strong enough to pick up and get back on that group, as we can see now. So don't read too much into that. Of course, as soon as I predict something like that, it goes wrong. No, Nick's back on. Thank you, Nick. I knew you wouldn't let me down. I knew. Right, so Nick Greenhalgh, Ratio Racing. Two Ratio riders in here. Moon Riders and Anthony Dubray. Not sure if Anthony's got a team. It says, doesn't seem to indicate he does on his name. And I'm not aware that he's in a team. So two Ratio Racing riders, and this is really, really good. Delighted for Ratio. Can Moon Riders do get a lot of wins, largely through Voucher Place. Now look, the ones going to the inside will get a slight advantage. Lorenzo and Anthony do it, and the Ratio riders are a little bit slow to react, but they do in the end. Get on the inside, you save. In terms of marginal gains, you can actually save more than a little marginal gain. Now, Lorenzo Simons going out there. Sometimes you do this so that everybody else hasn't got the draft. If they're sitting in your wheel and you move, they lose the benefit. And Lorenzo is moving about quite skillfully, isn't he? I don't know if this is exemplary or he's just accidentally bashing the button, but it seems to be working, doesn't it? It's great stuff. Mark Rowbottom just drifting off the back a little bit now. 2 kilometres to go. We're getting to the business end of this now. As I say, it's totally flat, so there's no obvious attack point. Mark Rowbottom now spins out into the inside of the curve. Quite rightly so. He's got a little bit of a gap. Anthony Dubray now taking the wheel of the other two, and I'm sure at this stage you have to watch the steering and make sure. And it's Lorenzo Simons has gone up to Mark. Will the others respond? Anthony Dubray not letting that one get away, and he takes Nick with him. Nick's a wily old character. He won't miss moves like that. If his legs are fine, he's going to be in this race till the death. So I think Nick Greenhalgh still my pick. It's Mark Rowbottom, his teammate, just behind him. Will the Ratio guys work together so that one of them wins? There's always that possibility. We don't know whether they've got a little bit of a pact, or they'll actually race each other, or just try and exclude the other two. Who knows? It's all to play for. Only 1.3 kilometres to go. We're going to go through the Flamme Rouge fairly shortly. These four are going to have a right old tussle. We've got four great riders from the history of RGT, and in fact all esports riding. We've got four of the greats in here now, and this is going to be very, very exciting. Lorenzo Simons, he needs to get on that wheel. Don't let them get away. 39 kph. It's not full throttle, but we can see the Flamme Rouge now. The red arch over the road as we go past the Monday Malarkey signs advertising our new Monday nights. I say they're new. We've been running them since July. But if you're one of the West London VR racers, just go over to Monday Malarkey, 7:30 p.m. every Monday on IndieVelo. RGT closing down, of course. Let's get back to this race. 800 metres to go. All to play for. Lorenzo Simons just moving over so that nobody's got the draft, but they all react. They all get over. It's Anthony Dubray going off the front now. 700 metres to go. Will it make any difference? Mark Rowbottom now. He's punching out for it. 700 metres is quite a long way. Lorenzo Simons moves over, sits in the draft. But Mark Rowbottom moving again, making sure people don't get the draft. It's you get a draft from a few metres away, so don't just because they're not on the wheel. Mark Rowbottom now has eked out a bit of a lead. Nick Greenhalgh is in the back too, along with Lorenzo. Anthony Dubray, can we have a first French winner in the series? He's chasing Mark Rowbottom. He's looking strong. 370 metres to go. Is still a long way, and Lorenzo and Nick aren't that far behind. They can catch. Here comes Lorenzo. Here comes Nick. Two strong riders. Lorenzo in great form at the moment, the Belgian. Two two Brits and a Frenchman and a Belgian. It's very Northern Europe, isn't it? Mark Robot and Anthony Dubray are off the back. It is Nick Greenhalgh, and for once I actually picked the right one, and Nick wins clearly from Anthony. And sorry, not from Anthony, from Lorenzo. Anthony next, Mark Rowbottom. James Melville coming in clean now. He's stolen 40 metres on Roy the Rocket Neild, who is probably going to pick John Samet. He certainly does. Jorgen van Beurs after that. Marino Sesson coming in. A bit strung out. I was hoping for some more sprint finishes. Tim Cummings, fantastic finish, Tim. Well done. Tim lives down the road from me as it happens. But what a great position. Well done, Tim. 10th. Really pleased for you. Steve Bellio next at to 11th. And they are strung out. People have gone early, I think, and Francois EK in there. Marianne Marasek coming in 12th. And Craig Jones in plain white today. Resplendent kit. Go on the Monday Malarkey races and see his kit on there. It's fantastic. Kenjo Healy, Pip. Yes, look at that. Fantastic sprint from Joe Healy. Takes that position. Ivan van Beurs coming in just behind Tobias Björk. And Gautam Thakkar at 19th. He'll be delighted with that. Andre Kajusi just coming in for Asio. Looking like he's not really forcing the issue. He's got 400 metres over Daniel Cadiz behind him. So here comes Daniel. He's got Daniel Cadiz and Daniel Martinez. Which Daniel's going to win? This could be quite exciting, couldn't it? The Battle of the Daniels, the Daniel Derby. Let's see. 240 metres to go. They're under the trees at the moment, so we can't tell. But we know from the graphics that Daniel Cadiz is ahead by 2 metres, maybe 4. 150 metres to go. Is he going to... Is there a big gap on the wheel? It's hard to tell. 1 metre, apparently, according to the data. And... it's neck and neck, isn't it? Daniel Cadiz just takes it. Daniel Cadiz just taking it. Smith and Kader Alumi. Kader Alumi going through now. This is quite exciting, isn't it? Don't you do it from above? And Kader Alumi just taking it from A. Smith. So it's well done, Kader. Matt Feely coming in solo, 25th position. Well done, Matt. Matt, another one that's been around a long, long time in our races. Hoping that we're going to see you all regularly on IndieVelo on the Monday Malarkey races. Nick Lee, my good friend from Ealing, is 26th. Fantastic finish, Nick. Great to see you're on form. You've got 380 metres to go, but I don't think anybody's going to catch you. You've got a decent gap there. Well done, Nick. So another Nick was the winner, Nick Greenhalgh, just between Lorenzo Simons, who's thrilled to get his first win. He's now got a second place. Probably just trying out all the podium steps for size, isn't he? Anthony Dubray, nearly our first ever French winner. I don't remember a French winner anyway. Took third. Well done, Anthony. Great to have you on here. Mark Rowbottom at fourth. James Melville. Great names from the world of esports and particularly RGT. James Melville, Roy the Rocket Neild, John Samet, legends, Jorgen van Beurs and his brother Ivan, of course, as we watch a bunch of riders coming in now. This is Collins. I think Arlene Davidson got 30th behind Paul Boudel there to take the Ladies' League win. This is Collins coming in solo now, 96 metres ahead of Lightfoot. Going back to the winners, though, we got down to John Samet. Jorgen van Beurs mentioned his friend, his brother Ingmar. They are brothers. Marino Sesson at 9th. He'll take that. Tim will be absolutely thrilled to bits with 10th position. Well done, Tim. Lovely to see you do that, mate. Really pleased for you. We'll see. You can make a challenge for the series if you like. We'll have a party around your house. So here we're watching Collins coming in now to take 31st place. 220 metres to go. Under no real pressure. Lightfoot 100 and I think it's Mark Lightfoot. I might be wrong. He's ahead of Harry Smith, Rob Gilmore, Andy Evans and Kulin, the Russian. Here comes Collins now, just coming through the... You'll see I've changed all the graphics just to let everybody know where we'll be going forward, which is basically similar style races, probably a little bit more hilly in places, given the terrains we have to choose from on IndieVelo, but other than that, there'll be similar distances. And if you go on there, you'll see all your favourite riders, all the familiar faces. I think Rob Gilmore's going to have a go here, isn't he? 150 metres to go. Rob's going to go around Harry Smith. He has. is Harry going to respond? He's on the wheel at the moment. At 94 metres to go, Harry responds. Harry goes in front. Rob Gilmore now having to push a little bit, but Harry's got it. So Rob threw down the gauntlet. Harry responded. Well done, both of you. Great for you. Andy Evans coming in next. The man from Watford, or Bushy, I should say. Well done, Andy. Riding for West London VR, of course. And 300 metres to go. He's 150 metres ahead of Colleen, who's comfortably ahead of Rick van der Lee. So not seeing any great sprints coming up, except for the inevitable one. But the inevitable one could be a trio. Look at this. We've got Gavin Grant, Maria Vitsky and Migu Canada all together. And we know that Maria Vitsky and Migu Canada have little races at the end of each race. So let's see what happens. Gavin Grant in the mix as well. Andy Evans coming in there. Well done, Andy. Great ride. Colleen now, the Russian, coming in. Thank you very much for coming along and taking part. Great to have you on board. And another 400 metres back. We're going to get that little tussle, aren't we, between the Twickenham rider, Gavin Grant, the Puerto Rican Maria Vitsky, and the Canadian Migu Canada. Here's Rick van der Laan. He's just ahead. I shouldn't have missed you out, should I, Rick? Sorry about that, Rick. So Rick van der Laan, the Netherlands rider, coming in to take 37th place, and probably 73 points. So well done, Rick. That'll be a good point haul. Gavin's just ahead of Maria at the moment. Migu Canada 6 metres behind, 240 to go. Maria really needs to sort of push over to the side and get on Gavin's wheel. She's got 12 on Migu at the moment. Migu has been known to come back, and she's actually seen past Gavin, which is amazing. Migu Canada, though, is doing what he always does and chasing down. He's caught up with Gavin, I think, but Maria's going to take it. Gavin had to settle for third out of that trio. Well done, Maria. Well done, Migu. Great stuff, Gavin. And here's another one of my favourite ladies, Christine Meek. Formerly from West London, not West London Cycling Club, Westerly Cycling Club, but now living down in Malmesbury with Keith, and I think enjoying the cycling down there as well. It's an area I've cycled through many times. It's quite nice. So Christine coming in, she's got quite a distance on Julie Hobson and Jessica Wright. Jessica Wright will be delighted that she's got quite a big gap on Julie. So Jessica, well done. Absolutely fantastic. Christine coming in now to take 41st place. Lovely to see you, Christine. We'll have to bump into you and Keith one of these days in real life. I haven't seen you since you moved out of London. Jessica Wright now from Bolton, and that's not near London, so I don't actually get to see Jessica very often. Mostly on WhatsApp, I would say. It's 42nd, and she's got 500 metres to go before we go back and see how Julie's getting on. We'll focus on Jessica. She was racing around today, and she was on the WhatsApp group saying, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it." And about half an hour before the race, suddenly the message pinged up, "I got home in time, I'm in the race." And well worth it it's been. Delighted for you, Jessica. 400 metres to go, coming home on the web race as we look at the results on the right hand side. We've done the top 10. Stephen Bellio, the American riding for OTR, is 11th. Francois Ike, the Wallonian Belgian, 12th. Moon Riders. And Marion Marisek for Racing Racing, 13th. Craig Jones in the plain whites today, the away strip. Go on IndieVelo on Monday and just have a look at Craig's kit. It's fantastic. And it'll inspire you, if you join up with IndieVelo, to make your own kit, because the options are fantastic. Really good. Joe Healy, 15th. Jerzy Wozniak, 16th. Tobias Bjork, West London rider, 17th. The Swede Ingmar van Beurs, Jorgen's brother, for Ratio Racing at 18th. Great to see you there, Ingmar. Just beating Gautam. And Gautam, I hope that absolutely tired you out. So that when we're out riding in Mallorca this weekend, I've got more energy than you. Andrei Krajewski, another stalwart who's been with us since the early days. Daniel Cadiz has been doing these for many years as well. And Daniel Marglis, he was there right at the beginning. So great to see you making a bit of a renaissance there, Daniel, the Portugal Bike Rental Man. Kada Aluni, Pokemotion 23rd, fantastic. I think you'd probably expect more than 23rd, wouldn't you, Kada? But never mind. Anthony Smith at 24th, Matt Feely, the Irishman, another one of those who's been with us since the beginning. Now, next Wednesday, of course, we will be back again. We're doing them every Wednesday just for this last few weeks of RGT. We teamed up with OTR, and they're doing their Festival of Cycling, and our race is going to be part of their festival. So 2 people on the case for you next week, and we're putting it in Puerto Rico, which is where Christina Vitsky, who you can see was 38th, she's from Puerto Rico. She supplied me with the course and a little film of it, so you can see the preview of what it looks like. It's a nice flat crit course in Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico, OTR and West London all combining for race 8.3 next Wednesday, same time, 7:30 UK time. So make sure you're there. This is Julie coming in 43rd. She's only got 300 metres to go, so I'll have to whiz down the other places. Nick Lee, great stuff, Nick. Fantastic to have you along. Murat Kalkan, 27th. Darren Bench at 28th. Paul Poodle. I don't think we mentioned Darren during the race. Thanks for being here, Darren. Should have mentioned you. I don't remember the camera being on you. Paul Poodle at 29th, the German, riding for OTR. Aileen Davidson, Eileen getting the ladies' race, so you get 100 points for that. Beating Phil Collins, which is a name that always makes you smile every week. Julie coming up to the finishing line now. Mark Lightfoot 32nd. Harry Smith from the Netherlands beating Rob Gilmore in that little tussle. Andy Evans, Yuri Colleen, Rick van der Laan, and then that fantastic tussle between Maria Vitsky, Nicky Canada and Gavin Grant. Jessica Wright finishing 42nd, Christine Meek 41st, and delighted to see Julie Hodgson making up quite a busy ladies race today. Well done, girls. Fantastic to have you along. Now, on the well done front, look in the top right hand corner of your screen and you see the ZMS initials there. That's Damon Bates. He does all the production on these broadcasts. And doesn't he do them well? I mean, well, you know, you come on a free platform, you get free broadcasts, and you get them to that quality. Damon is one of the stars of producing online racing, and if you are somebody watching who ever needs online racing, ZMS is where you want to go. Thank you very much, Damon. It's been another great evening. Thank you very much if you're watching. Thank you very much if you race. Thank you very much if you've ever raced. Nearly 4 years. It's been fantastic. Just 2 weeks left. It's very, very sad, but the future is IndieVelo, Monday nights at 7:30. You'll see a lot of RGT faces already on IndieVelo. It's where we're all transitioning or migrating to, choose your words, but it's going to be fun. The future's bright, even though we're in a sad moment at the moment. Again, thank you very much, ZMS, and thank you for everybody who's been part of this. See you next week. Monday on IndieVelo, Wednesday on RGT. Wow, you're spoiled, aren't you? See you next time. Bye.